injured.
Don't mess
Found you.
now. Let's see what you got. Sure. Stay. That it?
Let's say the rivet.
The water is beautiful, wouldn't you agree? The surface is calm, but the depths are full of life. Should I be? In the time of the ancients, a piece of the sky fell here. Then came the water. It pulses with essence, though it does not live. You are a godlike. I'm surprised it did not speak to you. Call it whatever pleases you. Andra knows it by another name. Forgive me. We have no reason to know each other. I mediate between mortals and the Lady of Lament. Some call me a gift-bearer.
Oh, good. I could use a new pair of boots.
We had one come to Paradise once. Thought he was a grifter, especially since he only seemed to want tokens made of gold or gems.
They do, but coin doesn't concern me. Healing is my calling. That's what brought me to this lake. The shard of sky is a fragment of Ione Bratha. When the moon shattered, it fell here. Its memory is long and full of pain. Perhaps, whatever they are looking for, they should not be here. A remnant of Andra's loss should have nothing to offer them, yet still they gather. I sense their discontent. I wonder if Andra does, too. If you retrieve the stone, find me at the harbor to the south. I have plans for it. And you. Take care when you breach the surface, though. The vessels might react. I would never. I hold space for essence. I do not tamper with it. Make sure you hold your breath, godlike. Your work in this life is not finished.
I'd watch what I say on this one. He's pretty literal.
Why would you even say that on board?
Give me a target. Hurry up. Those revenue.
As soon as I can.
I need a minute.
Right.
Everyone okay?
Hey! Over here! Stand a chance! Move on the right. What? Where? Come and get me! Need a minute.
I generally like swamps, but this one smells funny.
Something happened here. The end of an age. For centuries we stood tall. But the winds were violent. The infection weakened our roots. Day turns to night now. How do we survive when the tempest roils? Our leaves sway in the summer breeze. They fall, they grow again. The seasons change. We change. It soothes us.
This one's mine.
Nice work.
Let's see what you got.
Get me. That's one for us. Aim where? Where am I looking? Bye. Come and get me!
Let's go. Ice right.
Someone out there? Hello? Please, I need... You're the Adiran envoy. I'm fine. I just need a moment. I've spotted a number of your people out in the forest. Still Garot, I assume? Please, just continue on your way. I don't need your help, envoy. Neither does Fior. Fine. Sorry. Thank you. This should at least get me back to Fior. Thank you, envoy. It's possible I met the one good adherent today.
Envoy? What are you... Huh. You're full of surprises. I was expecting someone else, but... I think this could work out better for both of us. You should have listened to Captain Massoni. Always trust your gut. Once you hear my side, Envoy, I think you'll agree I was only trying to help. Right. I thought I was clever. Skimming a little extra pay from the coffers, surveying the city's weaknesses, laying caches for my friends. But it was like Monato had eyes in the back of his head. Nothing got by him. I tried to explain, but he couldn't understand. Wouldn't. It completely closed his ears to reason.
So you killed him for it?
Poor bastard was always too principled for his own good. That wasn't part of the plan.
Unbelievable.
Bandits were supposed to kill him, but... I guess they figured they could get more coin if they ransomed him back to us instead. Idiots. Sounds horrible when you put it like that. But, yes, that's exactly it. Your people have already pacified Paradise, with contracts and clean water, with promises of safety. I want to be safe. I want all of us to finally be safe.
You've got a hazy picture at best, Orso. The envoy was still killed in the street, and Ludwine's idea of pacified is anything but.
And I know what empires do, Envoy. They expand. Your soldiers would have come here sooner or later. I'm helping us avoid resistance and bloodshed when they do. Fiori's wasting away, Envoy. Animancy isn't helping us anymore, if it ever did. But no one in the city wants to admit it.
So you murder your own?
Our crops rot in the fields, bears turn to beasts and attack on sight. The very earth disintegrates beneath our feet. I think it's time we accept help from someone stronger, wealthier, better organized. From Adir. Then we can turn things around like Paradis has. Maybe then we can be safe. But Vidarro, Quilici, Captain Asierno, they're too proud. They won't do what must be done. So I'm doing it myself. You killed them all. But they were going to... So all of this was for nothing. I betrayed the Rangers. I killed my friends. For nothing? Gods curse you, Envoy.
Oh, no, you don't. Here they come. Let's see what you got. Quit moving. Take a moment, people. Look at that. After you, Envoy. Here we go. Come and get me! I don't see it. Take him down. Take the good shot. You're too late. Not bad, Mari. What's up? You're mine now. That looks like a piece of the thing you were fiddling with, I can't.
A welcome visitor. It has been so long since one of your kind has walked in this grove. Strange, as this is your home. A curious thing for Kith to want. Even one as special as you. It belonged to one who tended this grove for longer than I have been here. Our kind has no need for such remembrances. It would cause us no pain to part with it. But wait. No. No! So many dead. So many of my kin are dead by your hand. The time for words has passed.
Let's go. Oh no! Hey! Over here! Take it! Right flank! Let me catch my breath.
It's like nature's shaping these ruins into something. Like a shrine.
Next one, let's see what you got. Steady. What, you know what you have?
Well, that was fun.
there you are. You'd been gone so long I was starting to worry. What happened at the lake? So there was something supernatural at work. I knew it. Tell me more. But what happened to them? Oh, this is going to bother me. Ah, well, I asked you to investigate, and you did. Now, I should get to work on the new flock. They won't animate themselves. Surely someone died somewhere.
Animancy, grave robbing. People sure have fun around here.
Maybe pick up some eggs and milk while you're out getting corpses. Maybe a nice pastry or two.
You emerged from one shore and found me at another. Do you have the stone? Good. The farther it travels, the safer it will be. Even an enchanted stone should not attract the undead. The lake must have imbued it with some power I cannot name. To heal Andra's wound, I must give it a watery grave, commit it to the deepest, darkest ocean. She will forget it there. I will sail for a time. Who knows? I may drift here again. Now, will you return it? I have coin, if it would help. I can afford my boat passage. I need no more than that. Meditate on your choice, then. But remember, Andra weeps for Ione Bratha. The Lady of Lament assures me that this is better off forgotten. By helping me, you've helped her. She owes you, and she won't forget that. Where the gods are concerned, that is easier said than done. So, that is that. I believe my time here has come to an end. Whatever called you to these shores, I hope it reveals itself soon. Until our next voyage around the wheel, godlike.
I would kill for a standard festering snake bite right now. see you.
Hey! Over here!
Hello again, friend. Have you looked in on those Zarups? Thank you, friend. I don't need the details, really. Just thank you for your help. I will let the Rangers know that the Zarups are no longer a problem. My guess is that will come as a relief. Take this for your troubles, friend. I suppose we'll get to work replacing these machines.
We'll just come up with another small fortune out of thin air.
Quiet.
I have
no idea how we'll get our crops growing again.
Almost every Zarup I've ever met has tried to eat me before I could finish saying hello.
Watch yourself. We got them all.
I sincerely hope you have some good news for me.
What? Captain, I don't buy it.
Masani here nearly had me convinced there was a conspiracy afoot. How can this be? Belena and Adelaro are proof enough of that. Gods. And now Monato's gone. One more tragedy for the pile.
No. You're giving up?
I'm putting this flight of fancy to bed. And so are you.
Asierno? Please. Any of us could be next.
Ranger Massoni, you will not speak to me about this again. It's over. Is that clear, or should I be worried about you too?
Understood, ma'am.
Thank you for looking into this, Envoy. I'm sorry to have wasted your time. As gracious as you are capable.
I can't believe this.
Massoni! Here's your reward. It's the least we can do for your assistance. Thank you again. Step carefully out there. We are living through strange times.
Welcome back. You are here to collect a bounty, huh? Whose death am I recording? Impressive. I wonder if my theory about her is correct. You would know, wouldn't you? Interesting. Here's hoping I get approved to study the flow of essence into the region's fauna after all this is done. If only we could find a way to coexist with them. But I suppose it is in their nature to oppose innovation. Huh? Nature? Good. Outlaws living off the hard work of others deserve nothing less. Perfetto! That's all of them! As am I. At last I can turn my attention to more important things. Oh, how I've missed my research. Oh, please take this. It's from my personal collection of essence-infused oddities. I have a feeling you will find it of more use than I would.
He was never here. You understand?
You return. Have you visited all 3 grave sites? You fought them? The spirit's anguish must be driving them mad, the poor dears. Thank you for helping the dead to rest, my friend. You have done Fiora great service.
And wasted perfectly good food in the process.
Now, will you stand and pray with me? I believe that prevention is better than treating symptoms. By pleasing the dead, we remove their desire to harm the living. You have done Fiora a great service today. It may not solve all our problems, but it will make things better here. Please, take this token of Bereth's favor. May it keep you from her path for just a moment longer. May the usher find you quickly, Aimiko, and ferry you gently to the next life.
Pure crystals dug from the soil of Emerald.
you ever think, what if I wasn't a ranger?
Please tell me you found them.
Your rangers lost to the Dream Scourge. Nothing we could do.
The Dream Scourge? Here? Tell me you're joking. I don't believe it. I never thought he'd sink that low. Scoffing at the Dream Scourge while it sleeps in his own house? I'm sorry. That's none of your concern. I'll deal with it myself. What about my rangers? Are they even still alive? Merla, when she turns pure will panic. Where is she now? That won't do any good. Do you think poking around and severing her soul will save her life? Even so, if it's early days and Vidaro doesn't find out... Alright. It goes against all my instincts, but we'll try it. Once. Here. You went to a lot of trouble. You ought to be paid for it. It's time for me to get out of here and actually do my job. I never thought... I just hope we're not making a mistake.
Ado, welcome.
For an Adiran, you're very resourceful, and a more than capable companion for poor Giada. Very few, save for old Quilici, and he's like a father. Now that I've got the heart, my thirsty invention will drink deeply of its essence. All that's left to do is calibrate it. First things first, let's have a look at your soul. I'm going to ask some questions to induce a metaphysical quiver. No, not to worry, just testing your reflexes. Let's start with an easy one. You wake up on a beach, looking up into the sun. Your hands are covered in blood. All right. Let's try some word association. Tell me the first thing that comes to mind. Pendulum. Chrysalis.
A prison made of doors, a grave dug with fear.
Hello? You still with me? No, we should stop. This has gone far enough. Let's go over your results. Your soul has a fascinating internal structure. Perfectly balanced. An artist couldn't have made it better. Your godlike nature is a marvel to behold. God, my condolences. Those two are a handful, even for animancers. What I see is something entangled about your soul.
An outside presence that both is and isn't a part of you. It's old, dark, and rather tricky to pin down. Very interesting. Not without killing you. Fascinating. Thank you for getting my machine calibrated again. But you came for Giata's theory of the Dream Scourge. Between the two of us, she's on to something. Our farms are in great peril. The essence has been drained from the land. Diverted, like the flow of a river. I think Eora is old, haunted, and unsympathetic. Anything is possible. Regardless, essence doesn't just disappear. It must be going somewhere. All I can tell you is keep looking. You'll find what you're after. As much as I hate giving people bad news, that's all I have. Please give Giata my fondest regards.
Keep looking, huh? I'm getting a bad feeling about what we'll find.
Yeah, I'll be honest. He lost me when he started talking about Sims. What did I miss?
I have a lot of packing ahead of me, but I've earned a short rest. Good timing. I'm about ready to get started. So, did you learn anything of particular interest? That's the fun part of metaphysics. Everything is strange, but nothing is new. Look at us. Barely even started, and already we're making progress. Monto's machine is working, Elia will keep an eye on her revenants, and Yvette and Remy are providing us an alibi. Under the circumstances, the two are not so different. I needed those animancers for more than their expertise. Monto's invention nullifies spiritual interference. Having it up and running means we won't get any false signals. Whenever I tap into an Adra pillar, Elia's farmhands tend to get a little bitey. Thanks to you, they won't be a problem. And then there's Yvette and Remy, the governor's eyes and ears. In exchange for privacy, I gave them a test subject. I'd call that a good day's work. Animancy takes a lot of preparation. You might only have one chance to run through an experiment. Now we just need the right equipment for the job. When my parents died, they left me their life's work. An invention like no other. The phantasmal focus. Think of it as a spiritual tuning fork, or a dowsing rod. It has many functions. Some more obvious than others. The problem is it's in the basement. I haven't gone down there since the accident. Since they died.
I'm sure everything's fine. It's just a spooky death basement.
I would get it myself, but I'm not ready to face what's down there. Don't be. I couldn't ignore this forever. The door to the basement is just outside. Around the corner. Of course you'll need a key. Please excuse the mess.
If that's where her parents died, I'm glad we can spare her from having to go back.
Okay, walking into the basement of an animancer I just met. Right, feels great. I feel pretty certain that those people aren't supposed to be plants.
What a horrific fate.
Beauty reborn. A life of peace.
Guards, we can leave now, right?
Poor Giada. To think she's been living with this right under her nose.
I don't. Anyone know what happened back there?
I think those were Giada's parents, or whatever's left of them.
So they're dead?
Or something like that.
Gods, I can't believe this.
You're back. You found it. You actually found my inheritance. Did you see my mother and father? Are they still there? Nothing so malicious, but no less cruel. All that's really down there is an unhappy memory. One that keeps on growing. Quilici thought so too. Even Ignacy offered to lend a hand, but I forbade it. My mother had an idea about how to use the essence of the living lands, and it destroyed her. My father, our family.
People are too quick to risk everything for an ideal. I'm sorry it didn't work out for your family.
So I swore an oath. No one could enter the lab until I understood what happened. I'm on the right track to figuring it out, which is almost as good. Enough about me. Let's worry about you for a change. With the phantasmal focus, I can finally tap directly into the essence of the living lands. I can also use it to smack around anyone who gets in our way. Don't worry. It's more durable than it looks. Kind of like me. The only thing we're missing now is an Adra pillar. And I know the perfect one. Naku Tedek, the old godless ruin west of Fjord. There should be some equipment waiting for us. That ragged thing? It's as dry as a bone. Hardly any essence left. Even if it wasn't, I'm not exactly welcome in the workshop these days. We used it to study the Adra pillar. Then some priests moved in and took offense at our work. I hope they haven't tampered with the equipment, or this will be a very short experiment. Before we head out, let's make the most of our time in Fjord. No telling how long we'll be gone. I almost forgot. Someone gave me a letter for you. They said it was for the envoy's eyes alone. You, my new friend, are full of surprises. And I hate to be a problem, but I do my best work in small groups. Chalk it up to performance anxiety.
Oh, finally, some time to rest my feet.
Once we're all together, we should trade ghost stories. Best way to get acquainted. In the meantime, let's be off.
still can't believe it. Dorso was betraying her brothers-in-arms, all in the name of saving Emerald Stair. At least she got what was coming to her. I agree. It's just sobering to think she got to the point where murdering her own felt right. How do you keep yourself on the right path, especially when there's so much at stake? I was afraid you'd say something like that. Just please be careful. I saw this in Rauatai's campaign in the Deadfire. You start out with purpose. You're fighting alongside your brothers and sisters, battling pirates and slavers, bringing civilization to a lawless, divided land. But then, you're breaking up villages, turning tribes against their rivals. It gets messy, fast. Easier said than done. Empires are hungry, Envoy, and they devour their own too. Don't let your allegiances turn you into something you can't live with. Ask away. Sure. What's on your mind? So did my commanding officers. You're asking me? I'm not much of a gossip. Okay, who do you want to know about? She's got a lot of heart, and she's loyal to her people and their principles, even when it costs her. Giada's lost her home, but kept her resolve. It takes a special kind of person to weather what she has and emerge stronger for it. She'll have a lot to figure out after all this, but she's gonna be okay. I noticed that too. It says a lot. I can't say what I'd want the future of Animancy to look like, but there's no one I'd trust more than Giada to figure it out. Sure. Get some rest, Envoy.
Envoy? Hard to imagine what Giada's going through right now, with her parents and all that. I mean, I have no idea what actually happened there, but she lost her people. She'll need time to get past that. And she deserves it. Right, changing the subject. Ask away. I think you know almost as much as I do at this point, Amakuo. Not sure what else to say. There is something big in the southeast of the region. Most hunters say to stay away from there. Let's see. Water can be a problem out here. Don't drink from the rivers or creeks you find here. They're full of saka. Literally. You can get good water from inside most plants here, especially the larger vines. Or you can tap most of the trees for sap. I always put out some kind of cloth to collect the dew in the morning. That's assuming Kai doesn't take it and use it as a nose rag. Oh, there's another tip. Make sure the people you're traveling with aren't Nim dudes. Right, changing the subject. Right, I'm sure you'll find it absolutely gripping. Go ahead, I'll tell you whatever you want to know. Giada's a mystery to me. Animancers give me the vricus, and for good reason. Most of them would just as soon turn your soul into jewelry as look at you. Giada seems different. She's smart, thoughtful, and she's got a spine, too. You can tell when someone needs extra help out here, and she doesn't. So, yeah, I don't understand her, but I guess I don't have to, really. Until next time.
Thank you again for letting me join you. An Animancer never misses an opportunity to embrace the unknown. Still, being an Animancer feels different without Fior Messiverno. For the first time, I don't have to prove myself to anyone. You're forgetting all the bridges I burned on my way out. No, that part of my life is over. At least now I have a place I can call my own. Believe me, that's plenty. Not to change the topic, but this little adventure of ours, will it be dangerous? Oh, I never expected to live forever. My mother and father taught me how to defend myself, among other things. When you need me, I'll be ready. I hope so, anyway. You know me, always ready with an answer. Ah, you want a story? Very well. Settle in. It all started about 50 years ago, in the great city of Spirento. A young nobleman by the name of Maxim Vidaro sought to inherit a distinguished government position. We'll get to that. A distant cousin cheated Maxim out of the title. He was devastated, his political future uncertain. No one lifted a finger to help. Not the banks, not the merchants, or the politicians. So, Maxim did what Valians do best. Something like that. Maxim plotted his revenge. They say he prayed to Scan, the effigy, god of rebellion and defiance, to ask for a blessing. And Scan answered. Take their best and brightest, their heirs, their scholars, their futures, to the far side of the world, never to return. And Maxim did just that. He gathered a following and left the Valian republics, giving thanks to his dark god. We prefer to call it an intellectual haven of free thinkers, but it's true that most of us are animancers. Spirento was full of animancers, many of them in debt, and Maxim was a wealthy patron. They needed each other. So the animancers followed Maxim all the way out here, including my parents, Quilici, and others around town. At the time, this place was an animancer's dream. No oversight, limited government, and soil rich with essence. 40 years later, Maxim vanished. They say the effigy came to collect his soul. Of course, you and I know better. He died peacefully, content that what he made would outlast him. His son has been in charge ever since, for better or worse. His father had the advantages of growing up in Valian society. So did mine. He and I might squabble in public from time to time, but we're both just figuring it all out as we go. Thanks for listening. We should do this again.
I love a good ghost story. Just not the dreams I have afterwards.
Hadn't heard all that before. Probably a lesson or two in there.
One of these days you'll have to tell me an Adiran ghost story. You learn a lot about people by what scares them. Let me think. Quilici has a girlfriend, as cute as a button, and as smart as an archmage. That isn't a secret, I'm just happy for him. Have you heard of the incident at Beldereno Pass? 20 settlers lost their lives in a winter storm. Ever since, people have heard ghostly cries from a nearby cave. Fascinating, isn't it? Tragic, of course, but fascinating. Sorry to disappoint you, but I haven't heard anything new of late. Being an outcast means being out of the loop. What do you want to know? Anyone in particular? I warn you, I'm not the best judge of first impressions. Kai is a useful fellow. We need people like him to keep you grounded. Just not too grounded. On the surface, Kai is all charm and confidence. You feel good knowing he's around. But there's something deeper. Something in his core that he guards from everyone. Maybe even himself. Oh, not at all. Kai is a sweetheart. And if that's who he chooses to show us, then that's who he is. If there's another side to him, he'll show us when he's good and ready. No need to rush a natural process. Marius is working through something. An old wound that hasn't healed. A search for forgiveness? Who knows? He's a tough fellow, but I wouldn't put too much pressure on him. We're all wounded. That's the price of survival in the living lands. Just look at you. Only just got here and you died in the line of duty. You may not be from the living lands, but the island left you a scar to remember. Now, you're just like us. We haven't been together long, but I think I have you figured out. In Paradise, you killed your killer. Some would call that justice. Others would call it vengeance. But who am I to judge? In your shoes, I might have done the same. Your Messi Verno tolerates you well enough. No doubt thanks to my influence. Of course, all I know is what you've done. You may not think these choices reflect who you are. At the end of the day, you shouldn't care what anyone thinks. All that matters is how you see yourself. I've spilled all the gossip I know. Ask me again when there's a new face in camp. Now that you mention it, I did try and awaken my soul to become fully aware of my past lives. Every animancer tries and fails. It's practically a rite of passage. So, one evening, I crept into the workshop and cobbled an invention together from spare parts. Amateur work. Then I turned it on. Big mistake. The next thing I knew, it was morning. I was floating in the fountain, and my head was pounding like a drum.
You don't need animancy for that. Just rum and a crew on shore leave.
That answers a lot of questions, honestly.
Sometimes I wonder, what if it actually worked? What if all of this happened before, and I'm just reliving the events of a past life? I try not to think about it too much. That little island off of Dawnshore? None that I know of. Ignato Castor led the Valiant Trading Company in the Deadfire Archipelago. Among other things, he invested in the future of animancy, and apparently he had interests here. He had some ideas about moving great distances in the blink of an eye. As far as I know, he was unsuccessful. Animancy and ambition are a dangerous mixture. Intoxicating, but dangerous. Afraid not. I've heard a lot of contradictory stories coming out of the Deadfire in recent years. Some say Castle is still in power, while others think his second-in-command took over the Valiant Trading Company. You know how it is. Wherever there's conflict, there's bound to be misinformation. I hope not. I wouldn't want my family associated with speculation, corruption, and whatever else happened in the Deadfire. We have enough problems already. Unfortunately, that's all I know. Whether or not Castle succeeded, I don't think it's folly to dream. Ah, a simple question with a very complicated answer. The device is attuned to the spiritual energy of the living lands, much like a compass to magnetic north. But essence is chaotic by nature. As you saw with your own eyes, imposing order on chaos is not without risk. Indeed. Don't get me wrong, this invention is a small miracle, but it isn't enough. The phantasmal focus was supposed to be the start of something grand, one lever of a device that exists only in theory. Perhaps it should remain that way. I suppose you deserve to know, after what I put you through. My mother wanted to expand Fjord's agriculture. Feeding Emerald Stair wasn't ambitious enough. She wanted to feed the world. She thought she could break the wilderness, using animancy as the whip. Turn the living lands into a garden. That's putting it lightly. After my father put the finishing touches on the phantasmal focus, she was impatient to get started. After all, whoever controls the spirit of the living lands has nature in the palm of their hand. She was very kind, but there were days when she lived in her head, and days that stretched into weeks. Emerald Stair was just the beginning to her. My father thought she was brilliant. Others thought she was mad. I think she was a victim of her own ambition. She wanted so much, and there was so little time to achieve it. Theoretically, her plan should have worked. But the living lands had other ideas. When she used the phantasmal focus, theory collided with reality. Everything went wrong. I was 17. That makes it... Gods, has it been 13 years already? After they died, I wouldn't go near a lab. It was ages before Kolichi got me to crack open a book. I have a lot of catching up to do in my studies. Need to make up for lost time. No. To my knowledge, the accident was no everyday occurrence. But neither was the experiment. My mother transgressed on nature, on existence itself. Still, I don't understand what went wrong. When I do, then I can finish her work. My mother and father didn't know the risks, and I can't stop thinking about them. Caution and experience will stop us from repeating their mistakes. I can't rule anything out, but I suspect the Dream Scourge had something to do with it. It lives in the essence of the living lands, corrupting whatever it touches. And if I'm right, that means it's been here a long time. Or the forces behind it. That's all I care to say for now. At least, about this topic. I thought my family's research could help Emerald Stair. That it could banish the Dream Scourge from our lands. Of course, Vidaro wouldn't even give me a chance. He was afraid of history repeating itself. Still, I'm hopeful. This legacy of mine could change animancy as we know it. And something tells me I'm close to a breakthrough. Closer than my mother ever got. I hardly think your Emperor would approve. Good thing he's on the other side of the world. No Animancer has engineered an ecosystem before. Maybe, with a little luck, I could be the first. What's on your mind? Let me think. Sorry to disappoint you, but I haven't heard anything new of late. Being an outcast means being out of the loop. If I must. I can't believe it. Ranger Dorso, a traitor to Fior Messiverno. Shame we had to kill her. But at least now she can't hurt anyone else. The damage is contained. More or less. Sounds like something Inquisitor Ludwig would say. And for once, she wouldn't be wrong. Still, it's a shame. Dorso gave up on the dream of Fior Messiverno. Blamed Animancers for the problems we tried to solve. And I hate to see anyone lose hope. That's all for now. Let me know if there's anything else. Thanks for talking. Between the two of us, thank you for helping Yatsli reach that vase. Maybe it seems like nothing to you, but to her it's everything. When you consider how many Orlans and dwarves there are, it's outrageous that we build so high off the ground. She's very special to me. Don't let her size fool you. On the inside, Yatsli stands as tall as a mountain. One of these days she's going to change the world, shake things up. And I'll be at her side, grinning like a fool. Anyway, thanks again. You too. I hope no one minds. I made myself at home.
Don't mind at all. Good to have you. Tell us a bit about yourself, Giada.
Let's see. A few things about me. I enjoy long conversations, and my favorite season is autumn. Apparently, I also snore, which annoys some people.
So do I. Glad it won't just be me now. We should pitch our tents on either side of Marius. The drone really helps him sleep.
Right. That's me. And the first rule of camp is never listen to Kai. He's a blessed Nimdude of the highest order.
If anyone needs their soul tinkered on, don't hesitate to ask. I'm rather good with souls.
I'll take your word for it.
Did they not glow in the light? Her parents, her sentinels. To grow and flourish still, life without rot, form without death. Is the mycelium monstrous? Fair or foul, it merely lives. Endless spring, they breathe, they flower, they will never fade. Apple into seed, we think not. They have blossomed now. They sing in peace. Was it not worth the change? Do we not? The bear would have spent its days in the wood. They are strong now, vibrant, better than their frail shells. More than alive. No suffering, no end. Sleep now. Dream of beauty and new life. We will speak soon.
There should be some equipment by the Adrum.
Well,
Here we are on the precipice of discovery, armed and ready for mischief.
Gods! Warn somebody next time.
Before we get started, indulge me. What are you excited to learn about? Good. We're on the same page. Now, I'm going to tap into the pillar's dormant energy and give it a good shake. In layman's terms, I'm chumming the water and daring the dream scourge to show its ugly face. This is no time for hesitation. All right. Drawing on the energy of the phantasmal focus, I'll start with a low-frequency ethereal vibration. I've got nothing. You?
Anxiety? Annoyance? Maybe a little bit of, burnt hair smell?
Shit. All right, adjusting the frequency. The focus is warming up. I hope that's a good sign. Let me know if you feel something. Who knows how your godlike nature will react to this. Brace yourself. We're going to pin this bastard down.
Maybe we shouldn't try again with the unreliable soul-powered device.
Don't worry, I'm a professional. Now, here goes nothing.
Souls in a circle, a whirlpool. We twine.
Hey, I think I got something. The focus twitched, like a fishing rod. Is that a door? Not the result I was looking for, but a result nonetheless. Hold on to that feeling. We might need it again. Right before the door opened, I detected something in the Adra. I was right. The Dream Scourge has a point of origin. We can study the affliction from here, but I don't know that we can stop it. My thoughts exactly. If we want to stop the Dream Scourge, we still need to learn more about the source of the affliction. I hate to say it, but we'll get better results at the base of the pillar, where the energies are more potent. We shouldn't jump to conclusions. After you.
You were determined to get us all killed, aren't you?
Gods! Did you open that?
It did not bring us here to explore. But clearly, something wants to be found.
I have this feeling we're not supposed to be here.
I wonder, did you open the door? Or did the door open for you? Incredible. These ruins are untouched. We are the first to disturb them. When was the last time anyone walked these passages? It must have been centuries. No, millennia. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. We'll talk more once we reach the bottom.
Good job!
Protect the envoy!
I was worried for a second.
behind you.
Let's take these things back to camp. You can fiddle with them there.
No! The knife! Pierce!
Watch your head. The hat right above it.
Everybody all right?
I would not go swimming if I were you, unless you wish to meet your maker. Perhaps over it, with the help of some ice. What in the name of Aora is that?
I do not want to meet whatever killed them.
I've never seen any. We're going to die down here, aren't we? Well, have a good one.
Those Zarps worshiping.
Gotcha.
If there are any monsters left, show yourselves. Some of us have work to do. I guess that means the coast is clear. Let's have a look at the Adra pillar.
Hear us through the Adra. Find us.
We've backed the Dream Scourge into a corner. I say we pin it down here and now, before it wriggles away from us. The last time we tried this, you felt something, yes? Maybe it had to do with your godlike nature. Try making contact with the Adra this time. It could only help. The effect should be stronger than before. Brace yourself.
You are here. Tributary, the halls of life and death. The mourners are gone now. Only the memories remain. The shell protects the snail. Light pierces the shadow of doubt. We once belonged to the green and the wild. A people lived there once. They loved us as we loved them. They brought their dead to us. We used to dip our fingers, wade in the confluence of souls. We are the heart in the soil, the lungs. We dream, the land stirs. We become. They brought their prayers to us. We answered. Our people died. Their books were burned. No one was left to speak our name. But we remember an age of connection and wholeness. Our eyes opened. We were the earth, the sky, many into a whole. We touched the mountains and they molded to our fingerprints. The Akita twined around us. They sang in awe of what we made. They called us the gardener, steward of life. Sabado. Frost, the the morning sun. It has been centuries since anyone but us invoked our name. But we have felt in you the seed of connection. We have sought you, called to you. And you reach back. We have not known the joy of companionship in so long. The rot. We feel it too. Our hands are bound. Find us. Free us. The rot that festers seeps into us as well. Our cage is far from here, buried in the garden, beyond the poison sea. Alas, we have been cut off from the land we knew and loved for too long. We could not trace its hills and valleys for you. But there are others who can. Go to the halls of the Tabaru Sinakis. We will try to explain. Those who cherish us, the chosen of the Akida, wait there. They will show you the way to the garden, to our prison. We will cleanse this rot with you once our hands are unbound. Find us in the garden. We twine, we await. First, let us offer you a sliver of our power, a boon to help you survive and find us. Will you accept it? Take it with our blessing. Now hurry to the halls of the Tabaru Sinakis. Bind us. Free us.
You're awake. Finally. We really pushed the phantasmal focus to its limits.
Oh, you're back. I made sure she didn't touch anything important.
For a second there, I thought... Actually, never mind what I thought. Actually, I thought your soul had been blasted to 1,000 pieces. But I'm happy to be proven wrong. While you were out, I got some clear readings of the Dream Scourge. I've tracked its origin to the center of the living lands, somewhere deep in the untouched wilderness.
Right. The garden. Sure. Doesn't sound like something I'd want to mess with.
If we find the garden, we can cut off the Dream Scourge at its source. I hesitate to bring it up, but... you were muttering while you were out. Had quite a lot to say. Whatever you were communing with, it had a spiritual energy I've encountered before, though only in traces. It must be connected to the Dream Scourge. Perhaps they share a similar origin. Yes, Sapadal. Who are they? What are they to you? Excuse me? Sapadal is a god? But that's impossible. How could we have missed this? A trapped god. Trapped. And you spoke to them through the Adra. Maybe that tells us something. Not the Adra itself, but how it comes together. We've long theorized that all Adra is connected, But that changed when Animancers came to the Living Lands. The Adra here is severed from the rest of Eora, connected only to itself, or so we believe. If Sapadal speaks and works through Adra, then the Living Lands is their prison, their tomb. You could be right, but we have no way of knowing for certain. Not yet, anyway. We know the Dream Scourge is coming from this garden of yours. Maybe Sapadal can help us fight it. Indeed. That will be for you to judge. The real question is, where do I start? Doesn't ring a bell, but maybe someone's heard of it before. We'll find the source of the Dream Scourge in the garden, but we have to find the garden first.
This godlike Sokka's out of my depth. Call me when you need to clean a rabbit.
Let's return to Fior Messiverno. Banished or not, maybe I can squeeze a few answers out of my colleagues. I wouldn't count on it. Besides, what good am I to Fior Messiverno anymore? The farms, the community, my research, they all depend on animancy. But the Dream Scourge is the end of animancy, the end of the Living Lands as we know it. We should leave this place and its memories. There's nothing more for us here.
Wasn't much here for me to begin with.
Wait. We smell the musk of war. We hear the clash of steel. No. In the distance. They fade now. Was it a dream?
I lost you for a second there. Something the matter? Oh no. Let's go. You take the lead.
We found a way out while you were sleeping. Looks like a shortcut to the surface.
There is such a thing as learning too much. The mortal mind... Oh my god. No!
Fuitu Mayu. What happened here?
What happened? Who did this? The city's under attack. Come, there isn't a moment to waste. We won't learn anything standing here. I just hope Quilichi is all right.
I smell fire, but it looks like it could be worse. One can hope.
I can't believe this. All things considered, Fior Messiverno looks undamaged. Surprising, when you consider the state of our defenses. Whoever started this fight didn't come prepared to finish it. I will be happy to oblige them. Someone made a dangerous enemy today.
Can't say I blame you.
They break. They bind us.
We won't...
I smell fire, but looks like it could be worse. One can hope.
I can't believe this. All things considered, Fior Messiverno looks undamaged. Surprising, when you consider the state of our defenses. Whoever started this fight didn't come prepared to finish it. Someone made a dangerous enemy today.
Can't say I blame you.
They break, they bind us.
I hope everyone is all right. My people settled these lands in the name of freedom. It took 50 years, but our oppressors caught up to us. I hate living in interesting times.
Right. I prefer things as boring as possible.
Again and again they strike.
Let's set out. We've tarried long enough. I thought you did quite well. Good news, envoy.
There's the city.
Envoy, over. I see you avoided the carnage. A few of your countrymen, well, let's say they didn't know any better.
You may have beaten us today, but it's only a matter of time before Emerald Stair bends the knee.
Shut up already. Since the two of you are kin, I thought maybe you could help squeeze some information out of him. What we know is this. The Steel Garrote marched on Emerald Stair. We're pretty sure they wanted to set us to the torch.
And you taught them the error of their ways. Well done.
Just doing my job, same as you. What I don't understand is why they came unprepared. Few soldiers, and even fewer supplies. If the Steel Garrote wanted to start a fire, they sure didn't pack a lot of firepower.
That was you?
Well, that's one question down. I'm sure the governor will want to thank you himself. As for our friend here...
It doesn't matter what you do to me. The living lands will be brought to heel.
Now listen. I am a patient man. But if you don't give us some answers, the envoy here is going to rip you in half. I'm not looking forward to cleaning up the mess, so you can help me by telling us what we want to know.
Your threats are wasted, cur. I have nothing to hide. Inquisitor Ludwig gave the order to march on Fior Messiverno. Emerald Stair's on the precipice of disaster. Crops have failed, the townsfolk are defiant, and it's only gotten worse.
I fail to see how attacking my city helps the situation.
The coast is the only habitable corner in the living lands. We can unite as one people, or let the wilderness take us. What choice do we have? Tradition led this place to its doom. Better that it burn, and the people start again.
That is, without a doubt, the worst justification for a war crime that I have ever heard.
Ludwig tried to hasten the inevitable. Nothing more.
Aha! Now that is what I call a thorough confession. What do you want to do with him? As an Adiran, I trust you know how to handle it by the book.
Violence is the language of the Steel Garrote. Nothing less will get through to them.
I'd probably slap the teeth out of him until he stopped shouting. I imagine the local famine could take care of it from there.
Your call, Envoy. I'll see to it myself. One clean cut. Then again, I am known to be a little clumsy with an axe.
I say we give his body to Elia. Make him a revenant. Or worse.
Maybe that's taking it a bit too far. Thanks, Envoy. If I know the Burn Queen, she won't mind if we enjoy our vengeance a little.
If the Steel Garrote want justice, this is what it looks like.
You know, I'm not one to judge you for cold-blooded murder, but I'd say that was one of your best.
Envoy, I owe you my gratitude, and perhaps an apology. They tell me you're the reason our city is standing. You took care of the Steel Garrote before they could cause any serious damage. How silly of me. Here, compensation for your good work. You warned me something like this might happen. At least we had time to brace for it.
No doubt your Inquisitor is aware of what happened here. You've made a powerful enemy.
I don't think she knows the meaning of the word. As for us, we're still standing, but our enemies have little patience for failure.
We agree on one thing. The Steel Garrote have declared war on the living lands.
Call it what you like. This is an invasion of our sovereign territory.
What happened here is no coincidence. Their forces already have an unshakable grip on Paradis. Today marks a notable victory, but we've only bought ourselves time, not salvation. Tell us, what of your research into the Dream Scourge? Assuming our governor wants to hear it.
I may have spoken in haste before.
Pardon?
The very notion that the Dream Scourge had blighted our farms, it was too awful to acknowledge.
Are you being serious right now?
I am. The sanctuary my family built was falling apart on my watch. And I wasn't strong enough to bear it. As Giatta was eager to remind me. You must understand. My mother is the Dream Scourge. I hoped against reason that she might recover, but her mind grew as blighted as her lands. To face reality would mean upending my city, throwing order into chaos, and admitting she was truly gone. I'm so sorry, Giatta.
Don't waste your apologies on me. This changes nothing between us.
I don't expect your forgiveness, but I will do everything in my power to make this right. Whatever you have to say, I'm ready to hear it.
You want me to do the talking? Very well. The evidence is clear. The Living Lands is on the edge of an ecological disaster, both physically and spiritually. We may know the origin of the Dream Scourge. By following it back to the source, perhaps we can reverse the damage. Now for the bad news. An undiscovered god rests in the heart of this island. Until we know more about its nature, we are powerless to stop it.
But this is madness.
When I said I was ready for the truth, I didn't mean... Quilici, tell him it's madness.
Envoy, is it true?
There's no other explanation for the spiritual shift in the living lands. Something that slept has awoken. I believe there is still more to learn, but a disturbance on this scale could explain the changes to our ecosystem.
First the Dream Scourge, then the Steel Garrote, and now... what does this god of yours want us to do? Pray?
This is no time for a theological discussion. Our survival hangs on a knife's edge. We can't remain in Emerald Stair.
But we can return someday. Rebuild your father's legacy. We should relocate to Thirdborn. It's the only settlement that can take us all.
No. I say we go to Paradise. Exactly. As long as we are animancers, the adherents will pursue us to the ends of the earth. Instead, we lay low, hide in plain sight, let them believe we're beaten, and bide our time.
While we hide, the Dream Scourge will tear this island apart. At least in Thirdborn, we can practice animancy freely. We can't gamble with our existence. The political climate of the Living Lands is too dangerous.
Paradise, no doubt. Walls, guards, and close to the sea if things get really bad.
Thirdborn has its own problems. Paradise is more secure, but it would mean living under Adheran rule. I don't like our options, but that shouldn't stop us from committing to one.
It's unpredictable, and that's why it has a chance to succeed.
When did you grow a spine, Ignacy?
Who says I have? Take care in your travels, Giada. May we meet again.
They'll do well in Paradise. It's completely safe. As long as they keep their heads down.
My days of subterfuge are behind me. Be the leader these people need, and they will follow you anywhere.
What of you, Envoy? Where does the hunt for the Dream Scourge take you next?
Oh, I do.
Yatsley? Don't tell me you are getting swept up in all of this.
Oh, really? You should know better, darling. Any talk of the Akita, and I will appear. If you're looking for the garden, I can probably lead the way. You're already aware that I'm the foremost Akitan scholar in the Living Lands, and...
Godless scholar, my dear. No one outside of academia uses their proper name.
Ah, right. Layman's terms. Thank you, darling. Well, to make a long story short, I think I can lead you to the garden. 30 years of research, and I think the answer lies in a ruin called Nakukubel.
Gods, here we go.
Which is in Shatterscarp, so we've got to get there now. Though the city was saved, my research wasn't, which means the Steel Garrote knows just as much as we do. Wait. If they know as much as we do, they know to go to Shatterscarp too. Oh no. I've got to warn Temerity. Meet me in Thirdborn, all right? You can't miss it. It's the only bit of civilization in Shatterscarp, if you can call it that. I'll finish getting ready here and just meet you there.
Ugh, what a whirlwind. God, I love that tiny woman. Naturally. She's feisty, passionate, loyal, determined. My life would not be the same without her.
For what it's worth, I vouch for Yatsley. She's a good friend and a bad influence. Right now, we could use both.
There's a gate to the north, which will take you to Shatterscarp. It's guarded by some of our best rangers. I'll make sure they grant you safe passage. May the gods protect you, Envoy.
Exploring the Living Lands with a friend. What more could I ask for? Careful with that thing.
What have you found?
They call themselves the Akita. They worship this strange child.
Boudica will be displeased to hear it.
Boudica is never pleased. That is all I have. The rest is none of my concern.
Still, you refuse to take sides. This affects you too, you know.
I admit my sympathy. A group of exiles, a forbidden faith. But the Queen's tenuous favor, yes, compelling indeed.
The burned queen against a single settlement. If your question is one of power, the answer speaks for itself.
It does. Though I will say this. The Queen may have her motives. Sometimes standing idly by is greater subterfuge than action.
I hope this does not force all our hands.
Gods. I could roast a Balrog on the energy coming off this thing. Envoy, it's clear that no matter what happened, these people couldn't stay in Fior. You did the right thing. I think they're better off in Paradise than struggling out there in Shatterscarp. It'll be interesting to see how the Pargrunen in Paradise react to a bunch of Valians moving in. It's a very different place from Solace. More welcoming, but not much. Probably. Paradise is a lot more forgiving than the Stair. Right, changing the subject? Fine. You've been patient enough, I suppose. Right. Solace isn't an easy place to live. The food is stale and meager. The water tastes like steel and old meat. Everyone knows everyone else. No privacy, no silence, no time to yourself. I'm a wilderness expert. I can get privacy whenever I want it. Solace is a walled keep in the harshest region of the lands. Isolated is an understatement. Honestly, all of that was fine. But there was a peculiar kind of silence I didn't love. I have only the faintest memories of my parents, which was fine. I had friends and mentors and trainers and elders. When I asked about my real parents, though, they just told me I was safe now, and that the Wardens were my family. I never knew if my parents were alive or dead. I like to assume that they had died fighting some giant monster in the Tusks, but no one would say. When I asked for more, they changed the subject, like I wasn't worthy of a backstory. I mean, I know the important part. I'm from Solace, for whatever that's worth. My oldest memories are of Solace. My oldest friend is from there. Right. You asked. Not before I've done some reading. Envoy? Gods, I can't believe what's happening around here. Fjord was attacked when we weren't looking. It's a miracle it's still there. Teeth, fingers, toes, arms, that freaky Blessed mask she's always wearing. All of it. I'm sure we'll all get our chance soon enough. Right, changing the subject. You too.
We should talk. What happened to Fior Messiverno could have been worse. A lot worse. But that doesn't mean the Living Lands is safe. If anything, it's more dangerous by far. The Steel Garrote are just a symptom. I keep asking myself, how could I have missed this? How could I not have known an attack was coming? We were all so occupied with the Dream Scourge, we missed the enemy on our doorstep. No matter where Animancers go, someone is always trying to kill us. Nothing enrages the gods more than mortals in pursuit of knowledge. Don't worry. I plan to hold the mortals accountable. As many of them as it takes. Listen to me. A failed Animancer lashing out at everything in reach. Even with all the tools at my disposal, I couldn't stop the Dream Scourge. And I couldn't save my people. How do I live up to my family's example when I can't even help myself? Don't take this the wrong way, but you weren't raised by Animancers. Their ambition destroyed our family. Now it falls to me to find meaning in my parents' sacrifice. And I don't know if I can. I have some pondering to do. Let me know if there's anything else. Sending my people to Paradise is a bold move. Bold, but more importantly, unpredictable. For now, the Steel Garrote will keep a watchful eye on my people, but we will do the same to them, from inside the lion's den. Meanwhile, the Adherents will enjoy their false sense of security for however long it lasts. Look, I know you didn't come to this island to help us, and yet you were here when others would have looked away. Despite everything that happened, it means a lot. In that case, let's go out there and make a good first impression. If you need anything, you know where to find me. Not before I've done some reading.
A moment of your time, if you please. From one Adherin to another. What a colorful grasp of language you have. You interfered in our plans. Take it from me, Inquisitor Ludwig isn't at all pleased. In that case, maybe it's not too late to make amends.
You lost the fight for Emerald Stair, and now you ask for peace? Don't make me laugh.
Hear me out. That's all I ask. Believe it or not, the Steel Garrote owe you an apology on behalf of Inquisitor Ludwig.
Bring us her severed head and I'll consider it.
That temperament of yours is exactly the problem she's trying to solve. Our soldiers were poised to attack Fior Messiverno. If you had been made aware, you would not have interfered. My intentions exactly. You might not want to admit it, but Fior Messiverno is a settlement in decline. Weak government, chaotic farming, dangerous research. What exactly do you think you saved?
My home, which you have no right to condemn.
You've done nothing but condemn it. Shouting matches with the governor, open defiance.
I fight for my home because I cherish it, you shit-eating worm. Because I want us to survive.
Then I hope you enjoy the consequences of your actions. Fior Messiverno's reliance on animancy and stubborn individualism has done nothing but drag the living lands down with them. Any good farmer knows when to put down an injured animal. Look, I'm only telling you this because you deserve to know Ludwig's intentions for the living lands. If Heelgard cannot maintain a grip on the living lands, then the Steel Garrote will simply take it from him. You see, the Steel Garrote answer to the Burned Queen, not your floundering empire. And we will break from Adir if that's what it takes. And while he frets in the throne room, his puppy dog soldiers will chase their own tails. Inquisitor Ludwig sees something in you, envoy. She wants to cultivate your potential, as she did mine. You don't want to get between her and the fate of the living land, so let this serve as a warning. Our grasp on this island is going to tighten, even if it costs us allies along the way. Acceptable losses. What you do with this information is up to you, but don't get in our way a second time. It won't end well. Perceptive. Maybe Ludwig was right about you. Before I let you go, a little bird sang in my ear that you're going to Shatterscarp.
You might be evil, but you're well informed.
Of course, that would have been impossible with these meddlesome rangers in the way.
You didn't.
I took the liberty of removing them. It's a shame, really. Honorable folk to the last. That's a matter of perspective. Ludwig is keeping her dark impulses in check. It could have been far, far messier. When you arrive in Shatterscarp, give this letter to Temerity. Compliments of the Inquisitor. No need to keep you any longer. Let's hope our next meeting is under more favorable circumstances. You know, there's a depraved part of me that was hoping you'd make this interesting.
Let's make this a battle to remember.
I call her shins.
Stop right there. Take the envoy. Come on. Come on! I was worried for a second. You came to Emerald Stair looking for answers. And now we're leaving with more questions. How do we fight the Dream Scourge? What can we do about Sapadal? And where is the garden? Not to mention why the Steel Garrote attacked my fucking home. Who cares what she believes? What right have the dead to judge the living? We were lucky this time. My people will be on high alert, but that doesn't mean we're safe. The Steel Garrote are hunting anyone who doesn't conform to their vision of the living lands. Our freedom is on the line.
So on top of the Dream Scourge rotting your fields and turning kith and beast alike into monsters, now we've got a Death Guard Inquisitor and the Steel Garrote dogging our steps. Do you think Ludwig will try something similar in Thirdborn? That's good to hear. We'll find allies in Shatterscarp, if it's anything like I remember. Thirdborn's a rugged place that attracts rugged people. Lots of Rawatayans, scramble routes with no prospects back home, washouts from military or mercenary life, sailors in search of steady ground. Add to that a motley assortment of pirates, free spirits, and people who like living under the loosest grasp of the law, and you've got Thirdborn. But rumor has it something's amiss in Shatterscarp. Strange dreams, disappearances, people wandering into the desert and never returning, or coming back, changed. That's what I'm afraid of.
At least that tells us we're on the right track. This Dream Scourge is one of the weirdest things I've ever tried to hunt. Easier said than done, especially when we're not entirely sure what we're looking for.
Everything we learned in Nakutadek points us to the garden. Thirdborn is just a stepping stone. But we don't know anything about the garden. It could be a myth or a metaphor. Whatever the garden is or isn't, it's our only lead. We find the garden, we find the Dream Scourge. Yatsli is a master of the unknown and the unknowable. No mystery eludes her for long. If there is a path to the garden, Yatsli can lead us to it. I'd follow her anywhere.
Or maybe that god poking around your soul could give us directions.
Ask for directions. Why didn't I think of that? Kai, that's brilliant. Whatever Sapadal tells us will be filtered through a lot of metaphysical noise, but it couldn't hurt to try. This is so exciting. Sapadal? It's Giada. Giada Castel. If you're listening, could you please tell us more about the garden?
Castel. Castel. Why does this name sing to us? A voice through murky water. The garden stifles the notes. We cannot reach. The branches bind.
Did you get anything? What? No. They must have confused me with someone else. Clearly your link to Sapadal isn't as strong as it was in Nakutadek. But I'll take it over nothing.
I'll pass. I've heard too many ghost stories that start this way.
Right. If I wanted to waste time, that's what I carry a flute for.
Just me then. Really? No one else has a question for the god of the living lands? Fascinating.
So let me see if I got this straight. We're looking for the garden, which might not exist. Our best lead is Yatsli, an eccentric scholar who's gone ahead to Thirdborn, where the Dream Scourge may be ravaging.
Don't look at me. I was fine going back to Paradise. Stop. You're aggravating my ulcer.
Listen, I hate to ask this, but while we're in Shatterscarp, there's something I need to do. Something I owe Tama. There's an old battlefield near some Pogrunan ruins. Area called the Shark's Teeth. Tama lost his badge there. I need to get it. Thanks.
Takes courage to go back for something you lost. I wouldn't have it in me.
Get some rest. Sleep is good for the soul. I wanted to say, for all of its imperfections, Fiorme Siverno deserves a second chance. Thanks to you, it has one. I won't forget it. Not before we answer to her. Just to be safe, we should remain vigilant. Sleep in shifts. Look after each other. Rest while you can. Our enemies are organized, but so are we.
Let's get some rest. We have a long day ahead of us.
I knew the Steel Garrote were up to no good.
No one ever plans anything nice in a hidden war camp.